Not exactly a glorious start to our time in Costa Rica, but we've got 3 weeks before the closing stage of the league begins. We've got a transfer window coming up, and we have some holes we must fill. And welcome back, everyone, to episode number 41 of The American Dream. I am Mr. Cellophane. We are with Saprissa in Costa Rica. We have made the move down south from Canada. Thank you very much for joining us here. Make sure, if you've enjoyed the series so far, that you hit that like button and subscribe, of course, if you have not. Taking a look at our team, as promised, we're going to start in goal, and Kevin Chamorro is the one who made the start in the last match where we lost 2-0 and ended up seeding the grand final and losing out on winning the opening stage championship. Little bit disappointing with that. One of the biggest issues with Chamorro is, even though he is 6 foot, his aerial reach is not fantastic. Positioning is decent. Good passing reflexes are just okay. His command of the area also just okay. I think that goalkeeper is going to be a position we are looking to strengthen because behind him we have David Hernandez, who frankly ain't much better. In fact, his reflexes are worse. His positioning is worse. He's got the greater aerial reach, which is very important to me as a manager and what I look for in my goalkeepers. Nice agility, but again, 6'1", not really taking advantage of that height. Defensively, we are in decent shape. Freddy Gonzalez, the 20-year-old, is our starting left back. Positioning, marking, tackling, all pretty good. He's got a lot of pace on him. In fact, his physicals are absolutely fantastic for this level. He's 6'1", great decision maker. His crossing could use a little bit of work, but we do have left wings for that. One of those players who also serves as a backup to the left back is Elian Quesada Thorne, a 24-year-old. He's capped 19 times already for Costa Rica. Could use a little bit work on his passing. His off the ball is very good. Crossing and dribbling are okay. Great acceleration, decent amount of pace, great fitness. Really can work any position up that left-hand side of the pitch. Backing him up, one of them at least, is Ramon, who got the start in the last match, 31-year-old Brazilian. No youth caps, no senior caps, however. So this is a position that we are probably going to look to upgrade. He's also suspended for the next Costa Rican match. He can cross, he can dribble. His first touch is very good. Decent amount of flair, technique. His technical ability is actually very solid. He's got some pace on him. 5'8", though. We'd like to get someone a little bit taller if we are going to use him on a more regular basis. Also working up that left side is 31-year-old Costa Rican Luis Diaz. 49 caps, just a pair of goals, though, for his country. He can play on either side as an offensive winger. Again, crossing and dribbling could use a little bit of work. He's kind of just fair to middling overall, so I think we may be looking to move him on. I mean, he's not listed as not for sale. He's making $5,750 a week. I tried very hard to keep the local currency active, but the conversion rate between the Costa Rican currency and the American dollar is confusing, and I didn't want to do that to myself. So we are operating in US dollars at this point. Again, just a fairly average player, ignoring the star ratings. He just does not bring a ton to the table. Going back to the defense, we have a very solid option as our left-sided center back. Resolute personality, 21-year-old South African U20 international, Ronald Gubane. He has tremendous heading ability. He's got good jumping reach, stands at 6'1", 171 pounds, left-footed. Good amount of pace. In fact, his physicals are very solid overall. Could use a little work on his positioning, but his marking and tackling abilities are absolutely fantastic. Behind him on the depth chart is 28-year-old Costa Rican international with 33 caps to his name, Gerald Taylor. Now, I believe he is either our captain or our alternate captain. Has a lot of leadership ability. His positioning, marking, very good. Decent amount of pace as well. He only stands at 6 foot, so getting into the air isn't as easy for him as Gubane. However, he does provide a nice, solid backup option for our center back position. A little on the shorter side, so we're probably going to be looking to upgrade this position, is Emilio Lara, the 27-year-old Mexican with a pair of U20 caps to his name. Stands at 5'11", just 158 pounds. So lacking a bit in those physical attributes that we're generally looking for. His marking and tackling aren't too bad. His positioning is actually pretty good. So maybe having him slot up as a defensive midfielder might be a better option for him moving forward. Same situation with 28-year-old Jurkaif Azofifa. Good amount of pace. His physicals are okay. 5'11", 171 pounds. Can play on the left-hand side. Maybe he's going to be better suited as a backup left back than a center back option on this team. I think center back at least either as a depth third or fourth choice, or even as a starting right-sided center back is going to be one of our targets in this transfer window. On the right side, we are fairly well set with 19-year-old El Salvadoran international Daniel Herrera. He's capped 11 times for his country already. Could use a little bit of work on the technical side. His tackling ability and his technique, though, are absolutely fantastic. He's got a ton of stamina. Only stands at 5'6", so a little bit more diminutive. But his agility and a lot of his mental attributes, he brings a ton of determination, concentration, good decision maker, as well as being a fairly consistent player and banned for 2 Salvadoran matches after being banned in an international match, but he is still able to play and eligible to be here in Costa Rica. Decent options for us in the defensive midfielder position, led by 28-year-old Alejandro Bron. He's capped 33 times for Costa Rica, even scored a goal. Positioning, teamwork, vision, work rate, passing, first touch, all very good. He's a little bit on the slower side, however, but a very consistent performer. He fits in well with the squad, and he is versatile. He can play anywhere up the spine of the pitch, so Bran is going to be a regular, would be my guess, moving forward for this team. And he's joined by a player with a little bit more speed, 26-year-old Emmanuel Chacon. Passing ability, his vision is very good. Technique, first touch, decision-making, again, very solid and an extremely consistent performer. He is on the up as well. Fairly determined personality, a very intelligent player, and as I mentioned, has a little bit more speed, a little better natural fitness. He could get a ton of playing time in that midfield. Now, we are bringing Lara up into that position as well, which gives us 3 good options at the DM spot. We already talked about our options on the left wing side. Luis Diaz, as we said, could play on either side. Another good option on the right is 22-year-old Guillermo Sanchez. He's quick and agile, and we love that about him. Crossing and dribbling, not too bad. Could work on his off-the-ball ability just a little bit. 5'10", right-footed, 158 pounds. Could be a nice, solid depth option on that left-hand side. He's also dabbled a little bit in the middle. I'm not sure if we are necessarily going to use him in those positions, but he can play on the left as well in a pinch. Up the middle is somewhere we could use a little work. Our best option is 21-year-old Costa Rican international Diego Moreira, 5'9", 152 pounds, decent dribbler, decent first touch, good passing ability. Now, he does know where to be on the pitch. His off-the-ball decision-making, composure, all absolutely fantastic. He's got some speed on him as well, quite agile, very fit. He's also a U21 player, which could be key moving forward. Again, we're not 100% sure on all of the rules as far as setting things up. I believe we do have to have at least one under 21 Costa Rican player in our starting lineup, or maybe even in our lineup at all times. Now, he's naturally an enganche. We talked about this a little bit last episode. We may end up using him in that role as we continue to toy and tinker with our tactic in this 3 weeks before the closing stage begins. Another option at the number 10 is our starting striker, 22-year-old Edward Lopez. His holy trinity is fantastic. Dribbling, first touch, finishing, all very good. Good technique, very determined, lots of flair, great composure. His work rate, not as good, but he's got some pace on him. Only 5'10", however. Likes to play 1-2s. He does run the ball with the ball through the center. Currently injured. Will be out for the next couple of weeks, but should be ready for the opening of the closing stage. Well, that sounds confusing, doesn't it? Behind him is a player that we met in the last match, 22-year-old Esteban Cordero. He has capped one time for Costa Rica. I like his balance. Really can't get in the air, though, only at 5'9", but he does like to move into the channels and place his shots. He will come deep to get the ball as well, so maybe not well suited for the advanced forward role that we started off playing. Again, we may tinker with the 4-2-3-1 if we find that the personnel we have is better suited in other positions, but Cordero, a very serviceable backup up front. However, it's not that our team is without its depth. We actually have 33 players contracted to our senior squad, so we are going to have to look at our squad size numbers as well. Maybe pare things down quite a bit. We have a number of players that are currently unregistered. Maybe we can move them on, raise a little bit more in funds, although financially we are in very good shape. $15 million in the bank, $11.5 million in the transfer budget. We are getting 100% of all of our transfer revenue, and a wage budget of $110,357, of which we're only spending about $96,665. So that gives us another $14,000 to $15,000 in weekly wages that we could potentially spend. So we do have options. Transfer window did just open in Costa Rica. We'll get to the signings that we have made, and we are still working on some others, so there will be more to come. That's coming in a minute. We have been drawn into the CONCACAF Champions Cup for 2030. We're taking on Mazatlan from Mexico. They're currently sitting 9th in the Mexican First Division. That's probably alphabetical because I bet they are in their off-season. If we do happen to make it past Mazatlan, we will be taking on DC United of MLS in the round of 16. Meanwhile, we have signed ourselves a new goalkeeper, 27-year-old Manuel Cortez. He's Colombian. He comes in much better in the air. Very good positioning, reflexes, throwing, one-on-ones, all very solid. He is going to be definitely rotating in and challenging Kevin Chamorro and David Hernandez for that top goalkeeper spot. But that is not all. A signing I am incredibly excited about for two reasons. One, Ronald Ngubane. He is off at the African Cup of Nations, so he'll be unavailable for at least the next month. But also, we are shoring up our back line. Yes, he's left-footed, but he stands at 6'2". He's 27-year-old Nassim Innocenti. He is fantastic in the air, has terrific heading ability, very good defensively. He knows his defensive positioning. He's a very determined player, and he's very solid mentally. He likes to knock the ball past the opponent. He stays back at all times, which is good. Doesn't love the big matches, but is highly consistent. Cost us $250,000 to sign him away, but the Burkina Faso national is very welcome on this squad. On the outgoing front, Yorkef as of FIFA has made a move to Herediano, sold for $450,000. He'd made 12 appearances for us, but with the improvement of bringing in Nassim Innocenti, he was, well, superfluous. And then to just clear some roster space, we did make some moves out on loan of some of our younger players. 22-year-old Jose Calvo going out on loan to Intercity. He will be joined by 21-year-old Gaston Jimenez, a midfielder who we're hoping to get a little bit more playing time before we take a good look at him here at Saprissa. 20-year-old Juan Solano, another center back going out on loan, this time to Asari for the remainder of the season. And 22-year-old winger Johnny Navarro, who did pretty well for us in our friendlies as we prepared for the beginning of the closing stage. The 22-year-old going out on loan to Guanacasteca. And finally, going out on loan to AD Sarchi, 21-year-old defensive midfielder Francisco Ramirez had made 10 appearances for the club. Hopefully, he will get a little bit more experience under his belt before he comes home. And of course, we do still have other irons in the fire, still about 2 weeks or so remaining in the transfer window. So we will be looking to potentially bring in and maybe even move out a few players between now and then. We can only have 5 foreign players on the roster. Right now, we have 6 we are looking to start. One of those is Ronald Ngubane, who we have temporarily unregistered because, again, he is representing his country at AFCON. It is going to be Manuel Cortez, our new goalkeeper, a back four of Freddy Gonzalez, Nassim Innocenti, Gerald Taylor, and Daniel Herrera Our midfield will be Alejandro Brand next to Emmanuel Chacon. At the 10 will be Diego Moreira filling that U21 role. Freddy Gonzalez does the same, as does Herrera, if I am not mistaken. It will be Elian Quesada Thorn as our left wing. Guillermo Sanchez on the right-hand side, and starting up front, leading the line, will be Edward Lopez. Hoping, of course, to carry over our success from the friendlies into this match against Municipal Liberia, and hoping to start off the closing stage much better than we finished off the opening stage. It was unfortunate that we suffered that loss. I don't pin that on us as a coach, and more as the team was just not in very good form and looking to find their way. Hopefully we have found that in the last 3 weeks, and we will show that on the pitch today as we start on the road against Liberia in the opening match of 22 in the Primera División closing stage. And so far it has been basically all Saprissa. 3 shots on goal to 1, 2 on target, 2-0, but so far no scoring and no highlights through the first 25 minutes or so, although Nassim Innocente already picking up a yellow card. Brand to deliver the corner, looking for Innocente, can't pick him out. Zakaria unable to clear it. Finally, it finds its way to Munoz, who will carry it ahead for Liberia. In the yellow with the black sleeves, we are in the purple. Chirino ahead, Aguilera in, Cortez making the save off of the post. Gonzalez will collect and clear. First shot on target for Liberia in this match, coming about 30 minutes in. Cortez sending it out. Chacon to control it in the midfield, will drop it for Innocente. Playing it to his right. Herrera is there. Daniel Herrera moving it into the Liberia zone. Up the sideline, finds Guillermo Sanchez, feeding it forward, but he can't get it past Delgado. Was trying to pick out a cutting Lopez. And Liberia coming the other way. Cruz into the middle. Castro settling it down, feeding it out wide for Munoz. Moves past one man, moving it to his right, into the middle. Finds Juan Diego Sequeira for his 6th goal of the year. And Liberia takes a 1-0 lead completely against the run of play. Things had been going Saprissa's way for the first 30 minutes of this match. However, 31 and a half minutes in, Liberia able to open the scoring, beating Cortez to his right to make it a 1-0 lead. But off of the ensuing kickoff, Daniel Herrera will control. He moves it to the interior, drops it back for Gerald Taylor. Ahead, Chacon throwing it forward, looking for Moreira in stride, but Cortez gets there first. His clearance, though, is picked up again by Chacon. Taking a drive from about 25 yards out, and that is going to sail easily over the net. Unable to find the target with the long-range shot. So not really challenging the goalkeeper on that one. Polskamp didn't have to do anything. Ticking down to the final moments of the first half, Innocente to get it started will just lay it across to his right for Taylor. Up ahead, Brand in control, finding Moreira. Great first touch, trying to get past the defense, into the box, into the middle. Lopez taken out. It comes through to Quesada Thorn. Over for Sanchez with a wide open net. His 4th goal of the year. Guillermo Sanchez has equalized this one at 1. So even though Liberia got on the board first, Saprissa able to find a way to equalize in the waning moments of the first half, and after 45, it is 1-1. We have doubled them up on shots on goal. We have doubled them up on shots on target. Hopefully we can keep the pressure on and carry the momentum from the final moments of the first half into the second. Polskamp to send it long. We haven't even played 50 minutes yet. Lopez feeding it wide. Quesada Thorn. He's got it. 2 men are chasing him. He still had space to get it free to Moreira. Moving it to his right foot. Taking the shot and tucking it inside that far post for his 5th goal of the season. Diego Moreira picking up the goal and giving Saprissa the 2-1 lead. Sometimes all it takes is a small touch of the ball to find that lane and an open opportunity to score a goal, and Moreira did just that. Brand, cushion header down to Lopez. He's got it, looking to cut through the defense. He does. He's in, and he beats the goalkeeper for his 12th of the year, Eduard Lopez, making it Saprissa 3, Liberia 1. And this was right off of a goal kick from the keeper. Lopez, beautiful dribbling, pushing it past the defender. Made Cisse look bad, beating Polskamp to the near side to make it 3-1, but Liberia with an opportunity right off of the kickoff. Wide to the left, Cruz will drop it back for Cortez. Play it into the middle, Castro with a little bit of space, able to get it free for Sequeira. Out wide, Munoz. Munoz with a man on him, but he'll take it deep. The cross is partially blocked, and it will be scooped up by Cortez, who will look to send it the other way. As we approach the hour mark, can't quite get it into the Liberia end, but controlled by Saprissa. Chacon pushing it forward. Cisse getting back. Moreira to Lopez, who will drill it top corner. His 13th of the year, second on the night. It's Saprissa 4, Liberia 1. Finally starting to get the offense we were looking for in the first match that we managed with this team, and getting off this closing stage to a raucous start in this second half. It took a little bit of time to get going. I mean, to really find our groove. And it took Liberia scoring first for that to happen. Luckily for us, we are able to make things go our way. Emilio Lara, maybe a little anxious, but he is going to come into the defensive midfield. Also, Quesada Thorne, a little bit tired, which means Alvarado is going to come in on the right side. Guillermo Sanchez is going to move over to the left as we make two changes with about 12 minutes or so remaining in this match. But after giving up the first goal to Juan Diego Sequeira in the 32nd minute, it has been all Saprissa. And looking to add a fifth as Sanchez carries it forward, still with it. Sanchez with a shot. It will ricochet off of Cisse and go right in on Polskamp, who will look to send it long into the Saprissa end. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this match, and Saprissa cruising to a victory as Chacon gives it to Rodriguez. Cruz with an opportunity in second half stoppage time. Liberia looking to get one back. Aguilera feeding it up the right side. He's got Munoz with a bit of space up that right wing. Chipping it into the middle. Cortez will punch it away. Cruz, though, getting there first. And Michael Cruz, with his first goal of the season, will half the Saprissa lead. It's Liberia 2, Saprissa 4. And good offensive play. Munoz sending it in. I think Cortez would have been better to grab that because he ended out of position. Cruz got to the ball first. He beat Braun to it. So we were unable to clear, and basically an open net to give Liberia the opportunity at the end of this match. As we feed it forward, it's going to go in. Chacon looking to clear. Munoz heading it away. Bran is there. Lara in for Lopez with a little bit of space, trying to feed it across to Alvarado. Derek can't get there. Lara with it to Sanchez, moving it to his right. Sanchez in through the D, shooting, and it will trickle wide. Polskamp did get a hand on that, so it will be a corner kick opportunity. But we've already played 5 minutes of stoppage time in the second half, even though only 3 were added on originally by the officials. So Moreira sending it in. Gonzalez putting the header over. It's going to go out for a goal kick, and that's pretty much going to end the match. 21 shots on goal for Saprissa. Unfortunately, Michael Cruz able to add a second for Liberia to kind of put a little bit of a damper on the festivities, but a massive 4-2 victory. And really no rest for the weary. We're about a month away from our preliminary round first leg matchup against Mazatlan at home. We have 8 league matches in the Primera División closing stage, and that is where we are picking up when we join each other again tomorrow. If you like the video, make sure that you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new or if you have not done so already. Thank you everyone for all of your support, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new episode of The American Dream. Until then, bye-bye.